48 teams started this tournament. Now only 16 are left. From this point forward, every 90 minutes ends with survival or a flight home. While the atmosphere provides the initial energy, success in the knockout stage depends on a team's ability to maintain tactical discipline as that energy fades. Today offers two matches that pose entirely different problems to solve. You have to choose between watching a highly volatile clash of momentum or a methodical, heavily lopsided siege. This side-by-side matrix shows the structural data for both matchups. On the left, Canada versus Morocco projects massive swings in momentum and tight expected goals differentials. On the right, Paraguay versus France projects heavy, sustained French possession and incredibly lopsided betting probabilities. These numbers dictate the type of football you're going to see. Canada and Morocco will trade periods of aggressive control and deep defending. France and Paraguay will settle into a relentless, one-sided test of physical attrition. To understand exactly when an upset becomes possible today, we have to look past the emotional hype and identify the specific structural compromises each team is bringing to the pitch. We start in Houston. Canada enters this match carrying the immense, crushing pressure of playing a knockout game on home soil. That environment shapes their tactics. Fueled by that crowd, Canada has successfully relied on a high-tempo pressing strategy to overwhelm opponents early in matches. But committing that many players forward to dictate the tempo means pushing their defensive line aggressively up the pitch. If the press is broken, their center backs are left completely exposed with acres of space behind them. Morocco is built to exploit exactly that flaw. They utilize a highly disciplined, low-block defensive shape, intentionally allowing the opponent to hold the ball while they wait for a mistake. This rigid system frustrates attacking teams and protects their own penalty area. The cost, however, is that if they concede a goal, they do not have the structure in place to effectively chase the game. This flowchart maps out the series of tactical consequences triggered by the opening goal in this specific matchup. If Canada scores first, Morocco's entire strategy falls apart. They are forced to abandon their low block and push players forward, opening the field up entirely for Canada to exploit the newly created space. If Morocco strikes first on the counter, Canada's exposed high line becomes a critical liability. Canada will press even harder for an equalizer, feeding right into Morocco's organized trap. Morocco cannot easily pivot their strategy mid-game because their roster lacks ball-dominant midfielders capable of dictating possession. They are committed to the counterattack. A single goal will force one of these teams to completely abandon their core identity. That is what makes this match so volatile. Moving over to Philadelphia, we find a severe tactical imbalance. On paper, there is a massive talent disparity between Paraguay and France. Paraguay knows this. Their only viable survival strategy is to drop 9 or 10 men behind the ball into an extremely compact defensive shape, closing off the center of the pitch. The physical cost of a low block like this is brutal. They will concede massive amounts of possession, meaning their defenders will spend 90 minutes shifting side to side. By the late stages of the game, exhaustion sets in, leaving absolutely zero margin for error. They are setting up this wall against France's dominant, possession-heavy attacking system, loaded with clinical finishers. Statistically, France will control the tempo, live in Paraguay's half of the field, and generate the vast majority of the scoring chances. This flowchart illustrates the two likely outcomes of a 90-minute defensive siege. The first path is the complacency trap. Prolonged, uncontested possession often lulls a heavy favorite into pushing their defenders too high, leading to a single fatal mistake against a desperate underdog on a counterattack or a set piece. The alternate path is structural breakdown. Relentless offensive pressure forces the defense into endless lateral running, eventually breaking down their physical endurance until a gap finally opens up. Upsets at this stage of the tournament do not happen by magic. They happen when a team's tactical inputs perfectly exploit an opponent's structural flaw. This 2x2 quadrant plots today's matches based on predictability versus entertainment value, so you can align your viewing strategy with what you actually want to see. If you are a tactical optimizer or looking at the betting markets, you want to watch for structural vulnerabilities in Canada's high press, or look for value in the probability of France scoring an early goal to break the siege. If you are watching purely for the narrative, the Canada match guarantees emotional momentum and open space. The France match guarantees either a methodical dismantling or the gritty tension of a defensive miracle. A host nation trading blows for survival offers a high-stakes emotional payoff, while the France match presents the technical challenge of an elite team systematically breaking down a coordinated defensive block. Take a look at these structural trade-offs and apply them to your own predictions. Does the host nation hold their defensive line, or does Morocco's discipline break them? Drop your read on today's matches in the comments. The emotion of the World Cup is what draws us to the television, but understanding the cold, tactical compromises underneath it all is how you actually see the game being won.